welcome everyone to one more up-close interview with Solarplaza. Today we'll be focusing on the Dutch solar PV market and especially on how digital solutions can help to accelerate the sustainable energy transition. And joining me today here is Andrea Barber. She's CEO and co-founder of RatedPower. Andrea, she's also the co-founder of Vostok 6. It's a podcast in Spanish that aims to give visibility to talented women breaking ground and doing incredible things in different sectors. She started her career in San Francisco, and before founding RatedPower, she was leading the expansion of a Spanish renewable energy engineering company in Brazil and Chile. And she has recently been chosen by Forbes as one of the 100 most creative people in business from Spain. That's a huge achievement. Andrea, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Manoela. Thank you for the nice intro and for having me today.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. So I would like to start by asking you if you could tell us a little bit about RatedPower.
Of course. So at RatedPower, we developed pvDesign, which is the leading software, cloud-based software to carry out the optimization, the design, and the engineering of large-scale solar photovoltaic plants. And our ultimate goal is to digitalize the renewable energy industry. We want to accelerate the energy transition by increasing the global solar energy capacity through disrupting software solutions. And we are based in Madrid, in sunny Madrid, in Spain. We're a multicultural, diverse team, and our team is distributed across Europe. RatedPower is formed by a bunch of experts in solar and other renewable energies, aligned with the values that pushes us to develop the software. And we're passionate about nature, outdoor activities. We regularly contribute to a wide range of communities, and our values are shared among all the team members. We make sure we all align to those values. And well, we care a lot about the environment and make an effort to keep the planet a greener place to live.
Wow, great, Andrea. It seems like a very interesting and exciting company to be in. I was just curious if you could tell us also more about how was RatedPower born, so how this company was created?
Of course. So we started this business because my co-founders and I, Miguel Angel and Juan and I, we worked for several years in the industry, and we experienced firsthand how inefficient the engineering processes in many cases were. We saw a lot of bottlenecks and a lot of room for potential for improving them by using digital technologies. And we believe that by merging technology and engineering, we can make the most of solar power, making its implementation cheaper and much more efficient. So after many years working in the development, construction, and engineering of renewable energy plants, what we did was to come together, we joined forces, and we decided to streamline the design process to come up with a more efficient and more accurate solution. Today, in general, a global change is taking place, right? There is a huge change in mentality and consumers' behavior is changing. And there is an increasing awareness on how we consume, what we eat. We are all witnessing the United Nations summits, like last week, where nations agreed to stabilize greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere. With technologies, something similar is happening. It is the first time that digital disruptions can make a positive impact in our planet. To focus on creating solutions or developing technological solutions that already exist, so that together with this behavioral change, we can all reduce our carbon footprint and to make the planet sustainable. And it's really interesting for me to see how technology is transforming the way we generate, we identify, we transport, consume the different resources that nature provides.
Excellent, Andrea. Very good. I think we can be very aligned with that also at Solarplaza with our mission, right? Now, I'm just curious because this is how RatedPower's pvDesign was developed, I believe. But can you tell us a bit more about the software itself?
Yeah, exactly. So how I was saying before, my two co-founders and I, we worked for several years developing solar plants all over the world. I've been performing also the basic and the detailed engineering of renewable energy plants in different countries of different technologies, not only in solar. And we experienced firsthand two main concerns that we wanted to change. First, the inefficiency, or how inefficient the designing and engineering processes of solar farms are. To get this one project done, we could spend weeks, even months, calculating formulas and algorithms and generating hundreds of pages of engineering documentation. And if we wanted to change any parameter, we had to go back to the beginning and to start, even almost start the project from zero. And also, on the other hand, the unreasonable impact of climate change in populations, right? So one day the three of us got together and thought, could this whole process be streamlined? Could we do something to accelerate the energy transition? And yes, that's what we did. We developed this comprehensive software called pvDesign, which is a cloud-based software package that by scanning millions of iterations through heuristic calculations, it finds the best configuration for the solar asset and instantly optimizes the plant design. So as many of our listeners might know, the process of PV project development is tedious. You have to take into consideration a lot of different factors, and it takes a lot of resources to do it. But in this phase, you don't really have, you cannot afford to spend so much time and money. And it's especially very time consuming. And also, it's not many times the best layout configuration solution is not always obvious for the engineers or the people working on those projects. So with pvDesign, we are allowing the user to create as many iterations for their project as they want. And with the comparison matrix, they can weigh up all these scenarios and make better decisions, lowering the risk of their projects. So as I mentioned before, by using digital technologies and heuristic calculations, pvDesign transformed traditional engineering through the optimization and automation of processes. And the user just have to define the site where the PV plant will be located and upload it in a KML file. With a very easy nomenclature, so the software understands where are the substations, the access, the exclusion areas, the medium voltage cables, delivery point, all of this. Very like the most complex part, but it's very easy. Then they choose the topography, including earthworks, calculations, and meteorological data. And then the user selects different parameters and criteria, the civil and electrical configuration, the equipment, the module, the inverter, the structure, define the interconnection. And along the process, pvDesign also recommends optimal input values. And once the user has selected the different parameters and the configuration, our software scans millions of iterations until sorting out the best configuration layout in just a few seconds. And then the user looks at the result and it can iterate as many times as needed to achieve the optimum design while maximizing the profitability of the solar plant. So in just a few seconds, the software generates hundreds of pages of engineering documentation in editable format in the Imperial system. I will also like to point out that the software runs in a very secure cloud. So all the business data is highly safe, and we take this really, really seriously.
Wow, that's great to hear, Andrea, because I guess this is one of the concerns about cloud-based systems, right? So good to know that you guys are also taking care of that. Now, I have a question for you, Andrea, more specifically, since we are, we're focusing here on the Dutch solar PV market. If we look at this market specifically, there are now many issues regarding the grid capacity in the country, right? So the grid is completely full. And many companies are looking also into alternative solutions on how to solve this issue. And is this something that pvDesign can help with? And how would that be? How would that work?
Yes, exactly. We are aware of the emerging constraints on regional grids and the Netherlands, especially for the installation of large-scale rooftop and ground-mounted projects of Dutch solar developers. And in fact, this issue can be extrapolated to many other countries where grid connection is becoming more complicated each day. And at RatedPower, we're always working on implementing new features that reflect the industry trend. We cannot tackle this issue directly, but how can pvDesign help? Well, it can help you mitigate reactions imposed on you by the network in order to maintain the proper functioning of the network. For example, for its PV project, the reactive power compensation should be studied adequately, and the energy needs to have the most useful active power output. And pvDesign provides a feature that allows you to define a power factor for your PV plant. So let me be clear, without going too much into detail. You can opt to define the power factor at the substation's input or output. And once you define your required power factor value at the selected point, pvDesign will give you the resulting power factor at the inverter output. And this will consider the different elements of the plant that consume reactive energy, such as the transformers or the transformer station or the substation, which is also dimensioned. With the reactive power calculated, pvDesign will automatically start compensating for it by installing additional inverters to cover the entire DC field.
Wow, very interesting. It does seem like a good solution. I mean, it will not solve the issues of the grid itself, right? But at least for the developers, it can help them to at least have a forecast, have a little bit of an overview of what are they dealing with, right?
Exactly.
Great, that's great to hear, Andrea. Now, to try to wrap up our conversation, I heard some good news recently that RatedPower is actually going to grow even more. So you recently raised $6 million in the Series A funding. That's a huge milestone. I would like to say congratulations to you and to the team with this remarkable achievement. Yeah, really, really great to hear that. And I was wondering, how is this investment going to be applied? So how will that work now with all these funds?
Thank you so much, Manoela. We're very excited. Yeah, the investment is the push that we need to bring us closer to the mission of becoming the SaaS suite of renewables. And we plan on using it on mainly driving international growth and expansion in key solar markets, especially in the US, and also expediting product and feature development, and delivering also not I wouldn't say better, because I think we already deliver a great customer success, but we want to deliver a seamless customer experience to keep offering you the best features and service. And of course, attracting and retaining talent. That is the most important thing in our journey to grow a competitive team that serves our customers.
Wow, that sounds like very exciting plans for RatedPower, right? Very nice, Andrea. Wow, this is excellent to hear. It seems like you have wonderful plans for a bright future. I would like to thank you so much for this great conversation we had, for the great insights you shared. Thank you very much. I hope to see you and also our guests watching us at home in many other Solarplaza events in the future. But yeah, especially RatedPower, we hope to see you guys more often.
Thank you so much for having me today. It was great talking to you, Manoela. I'll see you and your colleagues from Solarplaza in the upcoming events. Next week, you can find us in the Solar and Air Storage Live UK in Birmingham, I think. And we're also going to Energía Andina in Colombia. And in December, we're planning to go to Nargaya in France. I hope to see you there, and keep an eye on our website for the upcoming events, because we always posted where we're going.
Nice, Andrea. Thank you so much. And thank you all for watching us. And yeah, stay tuned. Always at Solarplaza, we have many events coming up. So please stay tuned. And thank you so much, Andrea, for your insights today. Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.